Steam is one of the most revolutionary and important things that happened to gaming, being the biggest online gaming storefront on PC, but with it being so big, it makes it pretty easy for secrets to slip in without many people noticing, which is why I've decided to make an iceberg chart image for Steam, showing some bugs, some games, and even some haunting secrets. If you don't know how iceberg charts work, as we go down the image, the information becomes less known and more mysterious. This is the Steam iceberg. Enjoy. Steam features. If you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with the standard Steam features, the store, the in-game menu, the community tab, profiles, and the library. You may also know of some of the more, it feels weird calling these advanced, so I guess more social features, like screenshot publishing, artwork, groups, which I feel like no one talks about anymore. But yeah, Steam has a lot of features, and if you don't know most of them, I recommend exploring around. Groups is something I haven't seen people talk about in a while, but there's definitely more obscure ones. Steam Guard. Steam Guard is the mobile authenticator that Valve, the creators of Steam, have for the service. This basically means that when logging in, you get sent a notification to type a code or press yes or no on a screen to confirm that it's actually you signing in. This is to protect people's items and game libraries from being stolen, so if you don't have it set up, definitely go set it up. Plus rep. Plus rep is a common phrase you might see in the comments of other people's Steam profiles. This is to show that this person is trustworthy or reputable, which is where the word rep comes from. So if you see someone with a lot of minus reps, they're probably a scammer, so you shouldn't trust them. And if you see people with a lot of plus reps, they're probably a scammer that got people to say that to them. Don't trust random people, kids. Valve. Valve are the overlords who created Steam, all the way back in 2003. They used to make loads of games like Portal, Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead, Half-Life, but now mainly just operate Steam and experiment with physical hardware, which we'll get into later. Greenlight. Steam Greenlight was a way for indie devs to get their game on Steam. You would submit your game, and if enough people voted for it to be on Steam, Valve would just let you put it on Steam. Games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Undertale, A Hat in Times, The Stanley Parable, Stardew Valley, these games were originally added to Steam through the Steam Greenlight service. This was completely free to use for indie devs, which I think is pretty cool, but they did change it in 2017 to be called Steam Direct, where developers would just pay $100 USD to put their game on Steam, which is a lot easier, but definitely removes a lot from people putting free games on Steam like indie devs. SAM. Steam Achievement Manager, or commonly referred to as SAM, is a software for Steam that allows people to instantly unlock achievements. It's mostly a grey area within the Steam community. I mean, no one's been banned for it yet, but you don't really want to be that one guy that does. I'm mostly kidding, no one's gotten banned before. What's the chance of that happening? You can join TF2 servers and instantly get all achievements from just one command in the chat. It's so easy. You can do this, though I really don't get the point. What do you get out of cheating your way through achievements? Being the first person to not play a game for 10 years that came out 2 years ago? I don't really get this. Steam hardware. Valve has experimented with expanding Steam into a line of experimental physical products, or gaming devices. 2015 brought us the Steam Machine, a series of computer console hybrids running Steam OS, a Linux-based operating system. The Steam Machine was a direct response to two things, one being Windows 8 being so shit, and console gaming. The Steam Machine was great for people using desktops, but not really people using consoles. So bringing the console people a Steam Machine, it kind of bombed hard. Releasing concurrently with the Steam Machine were the Steam Controller and Steam Link, meant as accessories for the machine. The Steam Controller was a controller? It had these touchpads and back pedals. I thought it was pretty cool, but I don't think many people agreed, as they last sold for $5. The Steam Link was also pretty cool to let you stream desktop games to a TV, pretty ahead of its time honestly. The final Steam hardware is the Steam Deck, the most successful one yet, being a handheld console that uses good old Steam OS again, upgraded heavily though, and lets you play a big chunk of the Steam game libraries portably, as well as it being extremely powerful. Definitely a response to the Nintendo Switch, and it's honestly pretty good. Key resale websites. If you want to buy games for cheap, you might look at key resale websites like G2A. These websites get Steam codes and sell them to you for cheaper prices than what's advertised on Steam. These codes are usually obtained in some unethical ways, whether that be stealing keys from developers, buying them in cheaper countries and then reselling them, or just buying them in bulk. Valve has tried to crack down on this and developers have upped their security, so this isn't really that effective anymore. Like if I go into G2A and try buying Stardew Valley, it'll be $5 for a Steam account with it, but it'll be $30 for an actual copy of the game, and I don't want a Steam account with it, I have one already, so. Editor's note, I know that you can family share games, it's just, I don't want to family share the games, I want it to be shown on my profile, and I just want to own the game under my name. I feel like it's pretty reasonable. Maintenance. Every Tuesday, some Steam services will go down for maintenance. These don't happen at the same time globally as to not impact people who are, say, in America and Australia at the same time, but usually it's not really noticeable, just player counts will get messed up. Delisted games / codename Gordon. Steam has tons of delisted games that were once available to purchase but then got taken down for whatever reason. My favorite examples of these are Minecraft Story Mode, Poker Night Inventory plus Poker Night 2, and perhaps one of the largest examples, Codename Gordon. Codename Gordon was a 2D platformer created by Nuclear Vision Entertainment and published by Valve in 2004. It was a 2D platformer based on some levels from Half-Life 1 and the beta of Half-Life 2. The game was delisted in 2009, however, as Nuclear Vision went bankrupt and took down their website, which the game would connect to for high scores. This website was quickly bought out and turned into ad space, so Valve didn't really want to promote that on Steam and delisted the game, though you can still install it by using this code. This can be done for any free delisted game. Some more delisted games are old sports titles and most commonly done, old versions of remastered games, though many people don't actually agree with this practice, like would you rather play classic GTA 3 or remastered GTA 3? Steam IDs. Steam IDs refer to the ID that's given to your account upon creation. No, not the cringy horrible username you made when you were 9 years old, the default profile URL, or alternatively Steam ID 3s or 64. These are just permanent IDs to associate your account with no matter the profile picture or name change. Steam ID 64 is for 64-bit systems, while the outdated Steam ID 3 was for 32-bit systems. Level up bugs. During Steam sales, they'll introduce badges to give you a memento of the sale, and this is all fine and has become a very welcome addition to every sale, but sometimes these updates aren't shipped correctly and can contain some level up bugs. During the 2019 summer one, most infamously, going into inspect element of the Steam sale bag would let you get a seemingly infinite amount of Steam points, as in you could get to like level 5,000 or something. Just take a look at this. This was eventually rolled back mostly, but it's still kind of crazy how some of these updates will ship with bugs. Scams. Scams on Steam are fairly common once you really get into an online game. They're mostly prevalent in the TF2 and CS2 community where people will try and steal your in-game items. So just as a general warning, don't click on any links in the Steam browser, your friends can get hacked, you can slip up, though with that being said, it's extremely funny to mess with these people once you outsmart them. Green Steam. Green Steam refers to the old Steam UI where it was this old green thing and only had Valve games on it. This was changed to its iconic layout in 2010, then this more normal standardized one in 2014, and then it got even more modernized in 2023, which I think is definitely the best version of it. Nintendo emulators on Steam. Emulators are ways of playing retro games on hardware it wasn't intended for, and the most common form of this is emulators on computer. To download them, you normally just search up the emulator, but several developers have tried to get their emulator on Steam in the past, with one of the biggest emulators, RetroArch, actually making it onto Steam. So yeah, you can download RetroArch and play some legally obtained NES games on it. Dolphin, a Wii and GameCube emulator, attempted to get published on Steam, but didn't really have the same success as RetroArch. When Valve caught wind of them trying to approach it, they went to Nintendo and said, hey, is this cool? But with Nintendo being Nintendo, they immediately said no, so Valve asked Dolphin to talk to Nintendo about it, and they knew that this was immediately over. So while some emulators are having more success on Steam, Dolphin is not an example of this, though I feel that may change in the future. Apple is letting emulators on Steam, so who knows what the future could hold. SpaceWar. SpaceWar is one of the earliest multiplayer games ever made. So why is it on this list? Well, its PC debut on Steam didn't exactly go as planned, with the game being hidden off the store page requiring you to use a Steam URL to download it, but you all own it, just like Codename Gordon. The reason for this is because SpaceWar was meant to be used by developers to test Steam features such as workshop and music. They used a game like SpaceWar because it's a very simple multiplayer game, so it's very easy for developers to experiment features with. It's basically like Asteroids but multiplayer. I'm sure not many people are playing this, so let me just check the Steam charts. 30,000 people are playing this right now. Well, no. SpaceWar is actually used to pirate games. How, you might ask? Well, whenever you open a game on Steam, it checks to see if that the app ID is actually owned by account. So if I pirate a game and Steam checks I don't own the app ID indicated by steamapp_appid.txt, it will send me to the store page and ask me to buy it. But if the Steam ID is set to 480, which is SpaceWar's, it'll go ahead since I already own SpaceWar, which is honestly pretty cool people figuring that one out. The top rated game. The top rated game on Steam is Portal 2. Bit of bias there, not gonna lie. No, I'm only joking. I think it's extremely fitting that Portal 2 is the highest rated game on Steam. If you haven't played it somehow, definitely make it a must play. No game is as funny, clever, or puzzling as it, and it's probably my favorite game of all time. Definitely go check it out. It goes for like $2 on sale. And .jpg. And .jpg refers to an image that people were sent on Steam a lot. This also relates to Steam scams like I was talking about earlier, but in a different way. People would get their accounts hacked and send you something like, hey, have you seen this photo of you? And then include the link and uh-oh, it's Jeff the Killer. Oh yeah, it's basically just intended to scare you. I definitely fell for this one as a kid, definitely got a couple nightmares there, but this isn't too prevalent nowadays. It's more just a bit of Steam history. Send nudes bug. This has got to be one of my favorite things on this Iceberg. There was a glitch that was going around in 2019-2020 where uploading a blank black image as your Steam icon would bug out and replace it with this image of a girl's shirt that says send nudes on it. I've looked through discussion boards, Reddit threads, but there is no answer to this. No one knows why exactly this occurred, but it's not just a one-time thing. This actually happened to loads of people, and it's probably going down in history as my favorite Steam bug ever because of how ridiculous it is. The lowest rated game. War of the Three Kingdoms has the lowest rating of any game on Steam, being 89% negative. It's a Chinese game, so I don't speak Chinese. I'd like to give a special thanks to Fantasy XXIII on Steam for providing this review so people from other countries can understand why this game has such a negative presence on Steam. War of the Three Kingdoms is a physical card game, and this is an online adaptation of it, which has been heavily criticized for its terrible microtransactions, who make it so anyone who doesn't pay is completely underpowered and can barely play the game online. This is honestly very surprising for me to be the lowest game ever. I mean, pay-to-win games have existed for a very long time, so to have a pay-to-win game being very negative, yeah, that makes sense, but the lowest of all time? Wow. And there's still some positive reviews on it saying, yeah, the game's pay-to-win, but if you like that, then it's fine. So it's shocking to me that this is the lowest rated game on all of Steam. Fake player numbers. There are a lot of bots on Steam, trading bots, scam bots, inventory bots, and the one that is most important to our story, item collection bots. Team Fortress 2 has been theorized to have fake players for years, with teamwork.tf showcasing the actual amount of in-game players, which greatly differs from the Steam reported value, with people such as TF2 YouTuber Casper theorizing this is bots on idle in the menu and claim games when they come up, though we don't really know. It really differs from like 50,000 people playing to 3,000 people playing, but for now this is unconfirmed what it is. The second story I have for this was unearthed when Life is Strange 2 had its peak on Steam, randomly getting 400,000 people playing it. Is the game really that good? Well, yeah, but they weren't playing the game because they really love story games. They were playing because there was a bug with the game. Whenever you play a game on Steam, you'll get a card drop for you, which you can do whatever you want with that card. You can make a badge out of it and put it on your profile, or you can sell the card for actual money. Life is Strange 2 had its episode 1 go free on Steam, and someone found out that if you open it, it would actually give you a card, but free games aren't supposed to give you cards, so you are basically making free money from this. VAC ban visibility. A fact about Steam I only found on Resurgence videos that 7 years after you get a VAC ban, this little notice that's on your profile that tells people you were banned actually goes away after 7 years. This doesn't mean they're not VAC banned anymore, they still have the game ban that they had, it just doesn't show anymore. I really don't have any idea why it does this. If they're still banned from the game, show it, but I guess if they only play single player games, it's a good thing that they don't have their profile impacted anymore. I don't know, I think it's kind of stupid honestly. Source SDK base 2007. You may have seen this topping the Steam charts a few years ago and thought to yourself, why are so many people playing this? It's just a source modding thing. Well, it's because of a GTA 5 mod 5M. 5M allows GTA 5 users to set up custom dedicated servers independent of GTA 5 developers Rockstar servers. It uses Source SDK base 2007 to communicate through Steam's license authentication and for Steam Rich presence. 4-pack bundles. Games on Steam could have been sold in packs of 4 multiplayer dominated games. Games like BattleBlock Theater, Visceral Cleanup Detail and others came in these packs, but suddenly they stopped. This is due to key reselling websites which will sell copy of games for a lower price to make money, which this could be very easily exploited if you were buying a bundle which had each copy of the game slightly lower than average. Though some games still have this, but they're mostly older titles, no new game has this. App ID 0. Each game is assigned an App ID on Steam, so what is the first App ID or App ID 0? Well, the first games on Steam are Counter-Strike, Team Fortress Classic and Half-Life, which all launched simultaneously. Counter-Strike, being the first alphabetically, has an App ID of 10 though, with the others even further off. So what is App ID 0? Well, it's Steam itself. Yes, that is App ID 0. The Old Lab. The Old Lab refers to the game Lab on Steam. It's a VR experiment game set in the Portal universe. When publishing on Steam, it had one app ID, but for whatever reason, the developers chose to change it to a different one. During the beta of the lab, the image set on the Steam grid was this, a drawn picture of a Labrador, because the lab, how funny. But what were they going to do about the image for the old app ID? Well, instead of leaving it blank, they decided to change the beta image to have a grey beard, so it's the old lab. Very funny. Thanks to InevitablyDivinity and OzxyBox Discovery, this literally hasn't been reported anywhere online. This is some really cool stuff to report on, being the first person to ever speak about this. Forgotten mascots. One of the most interesting things on this iceberg to me is the old Steam mascots. Do you remember these guys? They would celebrate when you added money to your wallet and were drawn in art for the sales, but all of a sudden they just sort of vanished. They had these Steam profiles with some of them confirmed to have names: Seal, OzxyBox, and Tapper. I don't know if these profiles were legit, they don't have any Valve affiliation or anything. There was something interesting to note is that their years of service badge hasn't changed. So Roderick Bodkin account was created in 2009, but the badge says it's 6 years old. Nowadays, the Steam sale badges have custom art of them, like with the 2024 spring sale, which had a girl on a motorbike. So I guess these mascots won't be coming back after all. It'd be cool if they were referenced on Steam in some way, so maybe they'll add that, but I think they're put to rest. Nightmare folder. The Nightmare folder refers to a folder that was in Valve systems during the development of Left 4 Dead 2. From one of the developer commentary notes in the Parish chapter of that game, you can hear Bronwyn Grimes say this.
The infected textures are part hand-painted, part photographic reference. One of our team members had a nightmare folder full of photographs of people suffering from bizarre diseases and injuries. They were so hard to look at that the infected actually contained none of these. Instead, the secret ingredients for infecting normal-looking human textures are photos of housing insulation and potato skins.
This means that on the Valve/Steam servers they had, or maybe even do still have, pictures of actual dead bodies. Adding on to this, Valve also used a real burnt body for the corpse model in Half-Life 2. They do have a history of using dead bodies in their games for art. And that was the Steam iceberg. I want to thank you guys for watching this. This wasn't really that long of an iceberg, but I just wanted to put something fun onto the internet, just have a video to upload for once, because it's been a pretty long time since I uploaded. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave suggestions for some more icebergs and videos in the comments below, and have a nice day.